friends, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Sigrid and I make videos about books because I love them. Today I'm going to be doing another edition of my Black History Readathon reading vlog, and as you can see, this is going to be the romance edition. I have set aside several books that I would like to read in this video, but I will be picking 5 books from here, so let me show you the options here. First up we have For All Time, and this is by Shayna Miles. Digging Up Love by Chandra Bloomberg. A Ghost in Shining Armor by Therese Bahari. Jessie's Girl by Naima Simone. Captivated by Danger by India Carter. Wishful Thinking by Celeste Martin. Nobody's Magic by Destiny O. Birdsong. Devon and Chris Plan a Wedding by Chintzia C. Higgins. Sinful Vow by Asia Monique. On Rotation by Shirlene Obuabi. A Low Country Bride by Preslesia Williams. Savvy Sheldon Feels Good as Hell by Taj McCoy. Timber Me by Alexandria House. Business Not As Usual by Sharon C. Cooper. Fake It Till You Bake It by Jamie Wesley. The Accidental Pinup Girl by Danielle Jackson. The Banned Bookshop of Maggie Banks by Shauna Robinson. What a Match by Mimi Grace. The Roommate Agenda by Claire Kahn. And finally, In It to Win It by Sharon C. Cooper. So in order to pick the 5 books that I will be reading during this vlog, I will be using a random spinner. So I have inputted all of the books here in the spinner, and I will just be spinning it and they will select the books that I will need to read. So the first book that we will read in this vlog is The Accidental Pinup. First book is The Accidental Pinup by Danielle Jackson. I'm not mad at it. Let's look at book 2. We have, okay, The Banned Bookshop of Maggie Banks. Let's do book 3. Oh, yes. Okay, I really wanted to read this. Timber Me by Alexandria House. Yes. Okay. Book 4 is Captivated by Danger, and this is by India Carter. So our final book for this reading vlog will be Jessie's Girl. Where is that? Oh, here it is. It's such a small book that for the first time during this vlog, since I picked, like, I can read this in probably an hour, I'm gonna pick another book. I'm gonna pick one more book, so it will be 6 books. So let's spin it one more time. Business Not As Usual. Hey, okay. So these are the books that I will be reading during this vlog. And as always, I'm gonna go over the books that were not picked, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about each of them as well. So first up we have In It to Win It. This is a newer book that just came out. Oh my gosh, this book is gonna be funny. I haven't even read it yet. Reading the summary on the back is just hilarious. So it follows a woman named Morgan Redford. She is someone who is trying her best to do a nonprofit. Like, she's had a few failed businesses, but now she's really passionate about finding a home for teens who are aging out of the foster care system. So she finds the perfect property, and it turns out that there's a real estate developer who she's dated in the past and she ghosted him. His name is Drake Faulkner, and he is just really petty, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna let her get this property. I'm gonna win it. And so in order to win the property, they have to participate in this Ironman competition. So I guess it's like, I don't know what that is, like if it's like a running or something, but at first Drake is just kind of like, I'm not going to do this, this is ridiculous. And then he realizes that Morgan is already signing up and she's going to do it. So he's like, okay, I'm in it, I'm going to win it because I'm petty. I love that. Like, it sounds good. Next we have Sinful Vow by Asia Monique. Okay, so this is a black mafia romance, which is the only one that I actually own. I've never even knew that there were any black mafia romances, so I was excited to read this one. But it follows Enzo Bianchi and Lucia Moretti. Lucia is a mafia princess, and Enzo is like one of the mafia guys, and he's kind of really tough, and I guess he meets and falls in love with Lucia, and yeah, that's pretty much it. It doesn't really say much more of that. We have The Roommate Agenda by Claire Kahn. It's just such, look at that beautiful picture. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this book follows Joy. She is she's 30 and she's asexual, and she is in love with her best friend Malcolm, but she's too afraid to tell him. So he ends up finding someone that he falls in love with, and he invites her to go and meet her on a road trip, and she decides that this is the opportunity that she is going to tell him that she loves him. So she buddies up with this guy named Fox to like pretend date to make Malcolm jealous, and I think it's going to be a fake dating turned into love. So I'm thinking like she's gonna be so into Malcolm, and she's gonna realize that her mate is Fox, which is cool. So I really love to see asexual representation, and not only that, I love to see it in black romances. What a match. Okay, so this book follows Gwen Gilmore. She is someone who is looking for love, but she is extremely picky, and it also follows Anthony Woods, who is madly in love with her. She is his best friend's sister, so it's one of those romances, and something happens and he has to move into her home temporarily, and he's going to try to help her with the matchmaking process while secretly pining for her. Love it. Love to see that. Then we have A Low Country Bride. So this really feels like a Hallmark Christmas movie where the big town, big city girl goes back to the small town and helps a small business and end up falling in love with the guy who owns that small business. Yeah. So it follows Maya Jackson. She owns a bridal gown brand, and she dreams of being a head designer, so she gets an opportunity in this small town back in her hometown of Charleston, South Carolina. And while she's there, she meets up with Derek Sullivan, and he has a store called Always a Bride. So I'm assuming that she's going to work with him to save that store, and it's going to be a love story between them. Sounds really good. We all love a good Hallmark movie, right? Oh, I'm so mad that this didn't get picked. On Rotation by Charlene Obuabi. Okay, so I'm okay with this not being a pick because I don't know why I thought that this was going to be something a little bit different. So this follows a woman, and I think she is like a doctor. Yeah, she went to medical school. Yeah, she's done everything that she was supposed to do in her life goals. Like, she went to medical school, she got a lawyer, doctor, engineer boyfriend, and she surrounded herself with successful and loyal friends. But now her life is completely like wrecked because she just failed one of her exams, one of her medical exams. Her boyfriend dumps her, and her best friend is starting to pull away, so she is just not in a good space, and a romance ensues. Like, someone walks in, and I just don't feel like that is a good time to be looking for romance, sis. I do plan on reading this, and maybe it will turn out better, but I just kind of feel like wow, I really wanted to see, I wanted that part of her life to be bomb. I was hoping that this was going to be a medical story where she was a good doctor, not someone who was failing at her stuff. And I do know that black people fail, but we want to see positive black books. So I'm glad that wasn't picked. Then we have Wishful Thinking, Celestine Martin. Okay, so this follows, I believe, a inexperienced witch. She's a history teacher. She ends up making a wish for something more in her life, and that wish goes haywire because now she can't say no to anything. So she ends up just saying yes to like a karaoke performance, a 10K run. I don't care what magic there is, I'm gonna have to say no to that. And then like someone asks her to unjinx their house. It's a guy, and of course that's their love story. So they're kind of stuck together until like he can sell the house that he's trying to sell. So that's really good. We have A Ghost in Shining Armor. I was so excited to read this one too. Oh my god, this is so cute. I want to cry based on this summary, so I know the book is gonna be good. But so this follows Gemma Daniels. She is a woman who has the power to see ghosts. It reminds me of that episode of Charmed, and I that was one of my favorite episodes. It was like in season 1 where Piper fell in love with a ghost. Like it was a guy that was a ghost. Oh my gosh. I never I never shipped people so hard than I did in that movie. Like I literally cried because I was like, they can't be together. Like it doesn't matter if one of them is dead. Like let them be together. It was so cute. But anyways, so Levi Walker is someone who lived and died for his sister. Like he died trying to protect his sister, and it's their love story. And I really hope that it's a good story, because we did not get a good story on Charms. Like that ghost, like it was one episode. I'm still mad. I am still mad. He was perfect for her. Okay, then we have Digging Up Love by Chandra Bloomberg. So this book follows Alicia Blake. She is someone who she's like a dessert chef at her grandfather's restaurant in Illinois, but she has hopes to have her own bake shop. So something happens, and there is a dinosaur bone that is discovered in her backyard, and in comes this paleontologist, okay, and he is hoping that this new discovery will distract him from an old relationship. But he gets there and he meets Alicia, and he's like, ooh, girl, you fine. So it's their love story. It sounds good. I do love a person who just broke up, they're not looking for love, and then they find it. I love that. Okay, next book, Savvy Sheldon Feels Good as Hell. I feel like it's going to be more of a contemporary book where she just broke up with her boyfriend, and now she's learning how to love herself, and she's also working on a renovation project of her home. I'm assuming that the contractor that is renovating her kitchen is going to be the love interest, but it also says that her ex has like an upgraded girlfriend, so that's never good. So she's working not only on her kitchen, but she's working on her work-life balance. She's also working on her body. So that's why I feel like it's more of a contemporary where it's like, learn to love yourself. Like I love that. Like I feel like, first of all, get into this cover. It's stunning, and I love that there's a plus size heroine in here, so always good. Next we have Fake It Till You Bake It. Okay, so this actually sounds like it's gonna be good, but I do have a friend who read this book and did not like it, so I will still be reading it, but I'm gonna go in with lower expectations. But it follows Jada. Jada is a woman who went on one of those reality dating shows, and she turned down a proposal, and so after the show she ends up working at this bakery called Sugar Blitz. And she's working alongside like this ex-professional football player. Someone mistakenly assumes that they're dating, like a news reporter or something. They are mistaken as a couple, and so they decide to just fake date, because it works out with repairing Jada's like image, because like nobody likes her after she turned down that proposal. But yeah, and then I guess I don't know what's in it for Donovan. But yeah, it's their love story. So it's fake dating. I do tend to love me some fake dating. Then we have For All Time. I feel like it's a reincarnation book where these two people keep getting reborn, and during each of their lifespans they keep falling in love with each other. I guess it's their love story. That's all I get from here. It just seems like it's gonna be a good story. Then we have Devon and Chris Plan a Wedding by Chintzia C. Higgins. This is so cute. So it follows Devon and Chris. They're both on a reality dating show, and I feel like they're on it for a different reason. Chris is there because they are an influencer and they really want to elevate their brand, and Devon is on the show because they have not came out to their parents, and they're just willing to go through with it, get married, and have a fake wedding. So it's kind of like a fake dating. I don't know if they're gonna fall for each other, because I don't know if they're each other's type, but it sounds fun, and yeah, it sounds like it's just gonna be crazy fun. I really wish that I would have read this one too. And the final book is Nobody's Magic by Destiny O. Birdsong. Nobody's Magic follows 3 black women who have albinism, and it just follows each of their love stories. So one of them their mother was murdered, and so they end up meeting someone named Chad who resonates with that pain of losing a parent. So it follows Suzette. She had a dangerous encounter when she was a child, and she's now dating this like mechanic person. And then Agnes is someone who is stuck in a job that she doesn't like, and she meets this army veteran. It feels like it's gonna be a contemporary fiction novel with just romance elements into it, so I'm a little excited that this one wasn't picked. I just feel like it doesn't really count as a romance, but it does sound good, and I do plan on reading it soon. Okay, so we're gonna get started reading the books that were selected in this video, but I do hope that you have found some other recommendations in the other books that I did pick out. Let's get started, and I'll come back and tell you guys my thoughts as I read each of the books. Hey y'all, so it is the day before Valentine's Day. I just washed my hair, and I think I'm gonna wake up super early tomorrow and go and get my hair done. But I wanted to share with you guys that I love my hair. I love my hair so much. I love how it looks after I wash it. I should have showed you guys my curls, because I just blow dried it out, but I love my hair so much. I'm like plaiting it so that it's like not tangled. But I say all of this to say I'm hoping to get a ton of reading done tomorrow while I'm in the chair, because I'm getting braids. I'm going to this viral TikTok hair salon that's in Maryland. It's in a place called Bowie, Maryland, and so they're viral because they are able to braid your hair any type of style within a few hours. And if you know how long the braiding process takes, depending on your braids, you can be there from 4 hours to, I remember when I used to get micro braids, and I used to have to sit in the chair for 10 hours at a time to get like these tiny braids that were so small that they looked like actual hair. So I'm going there tomorrow, so I'm going to be waking up. I think they open at 4 a.m. I honestly want to be there when they open. I want to be the first person in the chair because I still have to go to work tomorrow at 9. Honestly, 9:30 is probably the latest I can come in, go into work. So that's what I want to do. So after I finish braiding my hair down, I'm gonna call it a night, and I'm gonna take you guys with me to get my hair braided, hopefully. I don't know what to expect, and I honestly don't even know if I'm gonna go, because it depends on how good sleep is. Okay, so It's 4:15. I just made it to my car. It's a 30-minute drive, so I should make it there at 4:45. That's not giving me a ton of time. Hopefully it does take at the most 3 hours for this, because I have to be at work by 9:30 at the latest. I did oversleep a little bit. I had to hit that snooze button because 3:30 was just insane. But I'm about to head over. Oh, let me tell you, I'm taking these 2 books, so temper me. I'm listening to it on audio as I like read along. And Jessie's Girl, I don't have an audiobook for this. I don't think there is an audiobook for this, but I'm gonna, like, once I finish, I know I'm gonna finish this in the chair, then I'm gonna either start or finish Jessie's Girl, and then I will be on track for this vlog. That I was actually at. This is like in like a little strip mall area, but I do see Nadine's, and it does look like they are open. This looks like a handicap parking, girl. Okay, yeah, it's handicap parking. Let me move. I just needed to turn around. Oh gosh, there are other people going. I just need my braiders to be available so that I am not. Oh, I can just park in this area here. I'm gonna try to do some back end parking. Okay, this is reverse. Oh, child, I cannot park. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Okay. Okay, not me doing it though. Oh, okay. Girl, come back. You good, you good, you good, you good, you good. Into you are not. Okay. Well, let me back up a little bit. Ooh, okay. That is enough. All right, we are here at Nadine's Hair Braiding. They look to be open. So this is them right there. This is them right there. What? Okay, Nadine's. And you can tell they're open because the light's on. All right, I'm about to go in here, get my hair done, and then I'll come back and show y'all the finished result. Yeah, so I'm just now leaving, and it's like it's 11:10. So I spent a lot of time in there, and the whole point of this service is that it's supposed to be quick. I got a style that is supposed to take 3 hours, and it should have been quicker because I didn't get the extreme long ones the way that it was. So the really long one was, you know, calculated at 3, and I hate how they did my baby hairs. This look horrible. Yeah, so this style originally was supposed to be 3 hours, but I got like half the length, so I'm assuming that should have been way quicker. And the reason why, it's probably because there's so many people that have heard about this place on TikTok that it was a lot of people. There were 5 people in front of me, so majority of my time was just sitting waiting to get into the chair. And then when I got into the chair, it was kind of like a 45-minute wait for my stylist to like prep everything and grab everything that she needed. So would I come back? Yes, but I probably won't get this hairstyle, and I probably won't try to do it at 4 a.m. again, because now I know like it's not going to be anything better. Like, you know, it's the same standard time. I do like that they allow you to do walk-ins, which I don't know if a lot of braid shops do that, but I really like that they offer that. I think this would grow on me, but I definitely need to do my own baby hair because I don't like how that one is. But I mean, I guess it's fine. Let's talk about this book though, because I did finish this when I was in here. I am going to rate this a 3 out of 5. I feel like there was a little too much smut in here. Like, I felt like every chapter there was a sex scene, and the chapters are really short, and I just didn't really care for the relationship. There is like a cheating trope in here, but instead of being cheated on, the main love interest, she actually lost her husband because she cheated on him. Like, I understand that everyone deserves a second chance, but I don't want to love her. I don't want to see the good in her, and I don't want to think the best of her because, like, she did that, you know? So I don't want to be judgmental, but still, just knowing that this is a love story involving someone who was a cheater in the past, like, I don't know, I just wasn't a fan. What I did like was that there was cancer representation. The love interest, he actually had cancer in his eye, I believe, which resulted in him losing his eye, so he doesn't have an eye. I like the fact the main character, her name is Brooklyn, she's not fazed by it. Like, she doesn't care that he doesn't have an eye. There's like sentimental times where she would actually kiss his like eyelid or whatever, and I thought that was really sweet, so I did like that. But personally, I think it was just too much smut in there. I really didn't see the relationship grow. I kind of just felt like it was lust and they tried to turn it into love. But yeah, this one is just not my favorite. But yeah, I will keep reading. I did not get a chance to get to Jessie. I listened to the audiobook for this one as I read along, and it was so quiet that I was so nervous that you could hear it from my headphones because, you know, I feel like, you know, if you have it up loud enough, you can hear a little bit of what someone is listening to. And there's like so many smut scenes that I was literally starting to get embarrassed. So I started to like skip every time a sex scene would come on. I would just be like skip 10 seconds, and like 20 seconds it was over, so that's probably not good. I am back with a clear head. I have napped and gotten some food in me, and now I want to elaborate on my thoughts. So first of all, my hair, I actually like it. It grew on me, and I actually have it in this cute little bun here. I wanted to put on makeup and like just dress up and be girly today, just to like feel good about myself. I mean, it's Valentine's Day. And now I want to elaborate on the book because I feel like I didn't give it as much justice as I would want to. So this is a second chance romance. It follows Brooklyn and Van. Brooklyn is Van's sister's best friend. They were roommates in college, and that's essentially where they met. Van was visiting his sister, and he ended up hooking up with Brooklyn because she was there and his sister wasn't in the room. Like, she was like doing something and she was running late, so they ended up hooking up that night. And it just kind of kept going on throughout the years. Like, he would visit, they would hook up, and so forth. There is a trigger in this book where there is a cheating trope, and it's not something that is happening to the character. It's more like the main love interest actually cheated on her husband, and she is like suffering with the consequences. There's also a plot twist of like a relative is dating her ex-husband now, and it seemed like it's written to kind of make us feel sorry for her or make us like feel like, oh, that's really messed up. I understand because the person who is dating the ex, it's like really messed up, but like you caused that, you know, like he was not that bad of a person and you cheated on him. Like, I don't know. So I don't want to be judgmental, but it's just kind of like, I can't let you off the hook, sis. Like, you did that. You caused it upon yourself. So it's pretty much their love story. Van is someone who has survived cancer. He had eye cancer, and it was so severe to the point where he had to lose one of his eyes. He has a prosthetic eye that he doesn't really feel comfortable using. It's kind of like a new thing, and he says that it kind of hurts at first and then it feels uncomfortable, so he would prefer not to use it. But Brooklyn doesn't really see that like at all. Like, she doesn't really care about his eyes. She loves him. So let me just get into my thoughts. There was quite a lot of smut in this book. It was just so much, like every chapter had some type of smut scene. It just kind of feel like it was a little excessive. And then also, like, I don't really equate having a ton of smut with being in love. So I really can't connect the dots of like when they actually fell in love. The only thing that I see is like they really enjoy the smutty times that they have and the feeling that they have during those times. But I don't equate that to be like, I actually care about this person. That's something completely different. And so that's how it is in this book. It's just like, oh my gosh, she is the best that I've ever had, yada, yada, yada. And it's just like, that doesn't mean that you're in love with that person, like, you know. So that's my issue with this book. I just really don't believe the love story. I don't really have an interest with it, and I don't feel like Brooklyn is a redeemable character. I don't feel sorry for her, and I don't think that she is that likable. So I really don't care about her happily ever after at all. Van, on the other hand, I really do like him. I like that he survived cancer, and I do like the representation, and I like that it's really realistic, where it's like, it's not just a happy-go-lucky person. Like, this happened to them and they're really dealing with this issue. They're angry. Like, sometimes that's the emotion that you will get when something really drastic happened to you. Like, you're angry at everyone. You're angry at people who have eyes. You're angry at people who don't have the same disability as you. Like, you know, it can be really frustrating. And I do like that that was like written out really well in the book. The writing style was really cool. It was very easy to read, very quick to get through. I just don't necessarily care about the love story in this, and it's very heavy on the romance. There's nothing really else going on in the book, so that's why it's a 3-star. I think that that is a better I think that's a better review than what I said earlier. But like I said, I really do like my hair. I think it's really cute. I'm actually going to take it down so that you guys can see how it looks. Ooh. Okay, so this is the hair. And it looks fine. I actually think I like it better up, though. I feel like it's more of a sophisticated glam look. So I was talking to my friend about my experience with the hair salon. Initially, the whole point of going there is because they braid really fast and they can get you in and out the door. And people have been saying, if you go at 4 o'clock, you can be done and ready to go to work. Like, you know, but that was not the case for me. I ended up missing work. I don't think I made it home until noon. So it definitely was, it definitely wasn't what I expected. But we thought about it and we were like, well, this is a holiday. This is like Valentine's Day. So people probably had the same smart idea of like getting up super early at 4 a.m. and getting their hair done. It was 5 ladies in front of me. And so that could have been why there wasn't enough stylists to do 2 people ahead. So it was just 1 person on my head, but it did take a long time to do. But I am happy. I am happy with the end product. I really like it, and hopefully it will last some time. But yeah, so that is my thoughts. I think I'm gonna film like some other content since I have makeup on, but that is essentially my day today. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. I hope that you guys had an amazing day. But yeah, I will see you guys in just a second with my review on the next book. Hi friends, I am back and I have finished reading Jessie's Girl by Naima Simone. Fun fact, this is an edition that I got signed at a Polycon, and she left me this really cool message to say it was awesome meeting you at a Polycon. So nice. So this is a best friends girl romance, and it's also second chance. So this is an interracial romance. It follows a guy named Asa and a woman named India. It starts off 2 years in the past with India finding out that her current boyfriend was having an affair on her with some groupies. He was a professional footballer, and she quickly goes to Asa's house to confront him. He is the best friend, and so she felt double betrayed because she kind of felt like she had some type of friendship with him, and he kept it a secret from her. While she is there, they have like some type of chemistry together, and they do share a very passionate kiss. Asa starts to have second thoughts about what he was doing, and so he pushes her away. India, feeling like she was like rejected by him, she runs away for like 2 years, and that's when the story picks back up. 2 years in the future, Asa now has custody of his niece. India has returned, and she's now the assistant principal for Asa's niece. And so they link back up again, and they still have the same feelings. Asa is still friends with Jessie, and so it's still the same dilemma of like, I like her but I can't be with her kind of thing. I would like to say that it's kind of slow burn, because there's like so many times where it's just kind of like they're just like eyeing each other, they're just kissing, and it's just like, where is it? Like, and then I will say, okay, so let's get into my thoughts, my reviews. I am going to give this 3 stars. There were a few typos in the book that was a little distracting for me, and there were some things that I discovered that are not my favorite tropes. For example, I discovered that I really do not like when children are in the romance. I feel like it could be done where I would enjoy it, but I don't like to be in the thralls of a passionate romance scene and then all of a sudden there's a child that runs into the room and then we have to stop. It's just really awkward and I don't like feeling that. I also don't like nicknames such as like baby girl. I just don't feel as though Asa is someone who would use the term baby girl as an affectionate term towards anyone. It just seems a little distracting to me. And it's used quite a lot in the story. This is a novella, so it's a very short book, but I will say we obviously know that, you know, Jessie is going to find out. It makes sense for that to be a plot twist in here. And I felt like it wasn't as juicy as I thought, as drama-filled as I thought it was gonna be. It's very quick, and it's not as dramatic as I was hoping. Also, the kind of redemption or like he gets the girl kind of thing in the end, it was very quick as well. I felt like it was like a page. So I felt like even though it is a novella, I think that those few areas could have been fleshed out a bit more. Let's see, there was also one more thing. Oh, so I'm just being a little nitpicky, but there was a phrase in this book that relates to Asa and India sharing a very passionate kiss. But when they reflect back on it, they say something like, I effed her mouth. And I've never really heard that term used referring to a passionate kiss. I feel like we all know what that means in real life, and I just don't see it being referred to as someone who is kissing someone really like passionately. And then India also says it. She was like, oh, he effed my mouth, and I'm like, that's not what that means. So I think it was said a little bit like over 4 times in the story, so that's why I wanted to mention it, but it was a little distracting. But yeah, other than that, I think that it was really good to read. It was really fun. This is something that's really short. You can probably easily finish this while waiting, you know, at an appointment somewhere. It was enjoyable, but those like little things just irked me. So I think I'm going to stick with my 3-star rating. I am going to continue on with my reading vlog. I'm a little bit behind, but I shall keep reading and I will come back and let you guys know my thoughts on the other book. Okay, hi guys. So I just finished reading The Accidental Pinup by Daniel Jackson. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys my thoughts, but first I'm going to talk about this one. So I tried reading this and it's actually really good, and I haven't really read a lot of the books in this video or just in any of the other videos that I have been reading this month so far that I actually wanted to tab my book, and for this one I actually started to tab. I made it to page 62 before I decided that I am not in the right mindset to read this book right now. And so I really want to softly DNF it. Like, I just want to put it down for the moment, for the time being, because I'm just not getting into it. But I will tell you what this book is about. It's really interesting. It's very well written. I'm not in the mood to read it for this month. Okay, so this is kind of a dom-sub relationship in this book. It follows a man named Diesel Danger. His family is very wealthy. He is Black. And it follows a woman named Grayson McGee. And Grayson has just been through a lot in this book. There's a heavy trigger warning for miscarriage or death of a child. Not only did she experience losing a child, but she went through a really dark phase where she was like super depressed and actually had to call in her cousin to come and take care of her until she was well. And unfortunately, while her cousin was in her house with her and her husband, like, she kind of helped herself to the woman's husband. And we pick up in, you know, present day, and they're actually getting married. So her ex-husband now. So Grayson has just been through a lot. Very much so. So she is a love interest to Diesel, and Diesel is someone who, he is a dom, and the story was very interesting, but I just wasn't really feeling Diesel. I just didn't like him as a love interest. Like, he kind of comes off as super cocky, and I just couldn't get into it right now. So I do want to set it aside because I feel like as we're going right now, the plot is interesting. Just not really liking the dom sub element with it, and I don't really care for Diesel as like a love interest. So I'm gonna set this one aside because I don't want to rate it low. So they're gonna move back to The Accidental Pinup. So this book follows Cassie Harris. She is a full-figured Black woman who is a photographer, and she is a very hard worker. Like, she tries to prove herself in every single way, but every time she is up for a job, she is up against the same man who does similar work as her. She does like classic pinup photography, and so does the other guy. His name is Reed Montgomery. He is a white man. I did not know that this was going to be an interracial romance. I tried not to pick that many for this video. I recently learned this year that there is a difference between interracial romance and Black romances, and I didn't know that until, you know, someone kind of made me realize if there is a non-Black love interest that it's not considered Black romance, because Black romance is two Black leads. So that is something that I was trying to be considerate of, but because there's only one character on the cover, I couldn't really see. And then also Jessie's girl was an interracial romance as well, so I didn't want to have like a full video of just interracial romances when I'm trying to spotlight Black romances. Reed Montgomery is someone who is always up for the same job as Cassie, and she consistently loses out to him. So this is their love story. Cassie has a friend who is a model, and she has a lingerie store for full-figured individuals, and she's trying to promote her lingerie line, and so she hires this ad agency, and she tells them that she wants Cassie to be the photographer. They bring in Reed Montgomery anyways and make them compete against each other, and pretty much her friend is just like, well, okay, well, you can be the model. Like, why don't you just be the model? I think you look really pretty. You should, you know, do that. And they also promised that she would be the art director, which is really good. Like, that's exactly what she's looking for. But unfortunately, we touch on a very important topic of systemic racism and sexism, because even though Cassie does all of the work for this project, Reed Montgomery, who literally just pushes a button the entire time, gets all the credit. So that's what this book is about, and it's their love story, and they offer him like so much money just to like take credit for like what she does. It's a really crazy plot, but it's something that definitely does happen. There's also a scene where Cassie finds out about this, and she is visibly upset. Like she's modeling, and she's like really upset, and she gets called aggressive, which is another super important topic. How certain words can be very detrimental to people of color, especially women of color. When you use a term such as like aggressive, it means something completely different when you are referring to a Black woman. Certain words have like a history behind it, and if you're unfamiliar with that history, you could be inadvertently like causing that person to like lose a job, or just because people automatically just think, oh, she's aggressive, she's an angry Black woman, you know. So I really like that that was discussed here. I haven't really seen that discussed in another book, and I was excited that it's in here. So I rated this a 4 out of 5 stars. I think it was really good. I don't think the love story was that believable, and I really didn't care for Reed like that. The smut scenes wasn't that, like, I feel like I've read better sex scenes, but other than that, it was okay. I think it was really good, and typically it's probably more of a 3.5, but I gave it a boost because I really like some of the things that were mentioned in here. I felt like this needed to be said, and people reading this, like, you know, will probably get that lesson of like knowing, oh, okay, so aggressive is a bad word when referring to Black women. So that is definitely something that should be more wide known, that people probably just don't know, and now you know because you read a book. So I'm going to continue to read on. I'm currently under the weather right now, so I'm doing a lot of reading, but very, very slowly. So yeah, I will meet you guys back here whenever I have an update on the other books. Hi guys, so I took a miniature break. I took like a day off of reading, and I don't know, I just wanted to watch TV and just do something fun, but I did manage to finish one more book. Bad news, I didn't finish all of the books that I was supposed to read in this vlog. I know, I'm sorry, I'm a terrible content creator, but I did read this and I must say it was a 5-star read. I had such a good time. I was falling a little bit into a reading slump because after I read the first book that I mentioned in the previous clip, and I was just like, I'm just not in the mood for this. Like, I was slowly falling into a pit of despair. And then I read this book and it pulled me back out. And I actually finished this and then tried to read this one. And this one, I found it to be just so boring. I don't know what happened. And I actually, like, I was listening to the audiobook with it. And normally audiobooks help me to, like, get through books that are, like, a dense or just, like, things that I'm not interested in. I restarted that audiobook over 3 times and I still could not get into this book. I don't know. I think it's my mindset. I think that I am in a reading slump right now, but I will say that this book was pretty good. Now, I feel like a typical person will probably give this a 3 or a 4 star, but I feel like I'm a little bit easier as long as you have like things that make me happy and I'm just excited, and throughout reading it I'm smiling like a goofy kid. If you can make that happen, I'm pretty easy. Like, I will give you a 5-star rating. Like, I don't, you know, that's what I'm looking for. I want something to give me the feeling of just being happy and putting a smile on my little face, you know? And this did it. This did it. Okay. I will say that this book has, like, it's not a fairy tale, but like something happened in here and I'm just like, okay, it's not believable. It's not believable at all. But I don't care. I don't care. I just wanted the love story and I got it. So, first of all, the cover, stunning, freaking stunning. And I love, like, the main character has like a fascination with wearing like bright colors. That is something that I was dealing with when I was in law school and was like doing interviews. I wanted to wear like bright colors because that's my personality. I love pink. I had a pink suit. Okay. And everybody was like, no, you have to wear black. You have to be a professional, be an adult, Secret. Like, you're not Elle Woods. Yeah, I ended up at the place that I'm currently working with. I can definitely wear a pink suit if I want to. It's business casual, but yeah, I just love that. And like, look at her, like, she's wearing like yellow shoes and a pink suit. I love it. Okay, let me tell you what this book is about. This book follows Dreamy Daniels. She is like a secretary at this company and she is attending school, college as well. She is one of those characters that like knows everybody and she's just overall really good, and she has a terrible boss that treats her really poorly. So the company that she is working with is meeting up with this guy. He's an investor. They're trying to get him to invest in their project. It's something sciencey. I just completely like blurred over it, like I didn't care. But it's something to do with science and whatever, and technology. And the boss was like treating her poorly in front of him. And so he just immediately lost interest in the company, but like, she was saving the day. Like, she was actually helping the company even more because she was like, oh, I did this, like, you know, helping him out and really trying to sell the group to him. But like, the guy was just like, no, like, he treats his employees like this, like, that's going to drive your company and whatever you're trying to create into the ground, because your employees and their happiness is going to make it a success or whatever. So she ends up, they end up making this deal where it's like they're meeting like behind the boss's back to like work on the project or whatever, and so he's gonna have to work through her. It's a thing. The thing about Dreamy, like, she is someone who is very like, her family, like, she lives with her family and they're struggling. Okay, they're poor, and he's like this, he's not a billionaire, but he's like a millionaire, so it's like a billionaire romance. I don't know if they have a millionaire romance. He's a millionaire, but it's one of those things where it's like she's poor and he's rich and he's like, he likes her or whatever. So it's just, it's so cute. I can't really, I don't know. It's just their vibe between each other. It just made me so happy. Like, I was like goofily smiling, like, you know, and then there was something like, it's like the banter in here was really good. Like, I don't know. It just did it for me. So I like this. I think you guys would too. So also, Dreamy has this idea that she wants to create a nonprofit organization, and she has this weird fascination with the lottery. Like, so she enters the lottery like every single day, and she knows in her heart of hearts that one of these days her numbers are going to hit and she's going to win the lottery. And with those winnings, she's going to pull her family out of the poverty that they're in, and she's going to fund her non-profit organization. And everyone is looking at her like, girl, no. But it's really good. So the guy's name is Carter Redford, and the funny thing is, when she meets him, she describes him as a character that I really do love. His name is Laz Alonso. I think he plays on The Boys. If you guys ever watched that show on Amazon Prime, I'm obsessed with it. I love it. So he plays on The Boys. He's Mother's Milk. And so she was just like, oh, he looks like Laz Alonso. If y'all can see, this character does not... He does not look like that. I just thought it was so funny. I mean, it's okay in this book, but I mean, it's okay. I just was like, when she said that, it's in the beginning. When she said that, I was like reading it, and then she was like, oh, he looks like Laz Alonso. I was like, Laz Alonso? Like, no. But I truly love this book. It was really cute, and it was the perfect ending to this video. But unfortunately, the banned bookshop of Maggie Banks just didn't work for me. I mean, it's fine. It's completely fine. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up at a later time, because I do feel like I'm slipping into a reading slump right now. Oh, and also, one of my friends sent me a book. She got me a book off my wish list because she loves this manga series, and this is volume 1. So I did scan it a little bit, and it does seem like something that would be really fun and funny. I got pretty decently into it. Like, if you're in a reading slump though, fun tip, try to pick up a manga, because they're a little bit easier to read and get through, and it's mostly pictures, and feeling like you completed a book will make you like feel motivated to continue to read. So that's my little tip for this video. But this is like a weird little manga series where this guy is obsessed with this girl who sweats profusely, and he's like obsessed with like how she smells, and I think he's gonna make a perfume or something. But the only part I get to is when she's like complaining about how often she sweats and how people call her nicknames. But I just feel like this might be something I pick up soon. Okay, so I am not going to do an outro clip. I'm just going to end it with this. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so sorry I didn't complete all of the books in this video, but hopefully you got some good recommendations from this video. I will see you guys in my next video where I tackle YA books. So until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye.